All right, Todd, here we are at the house. The inspector just left. I'm gonna go through a couple things of note, nothing real major at all, which is good news. The ice maker was in the on position. There's no tray in there and it didn't have any ice in it, so it doesn't look like the ice maker's working. Possibly said, you know, those can freeze up in the back. The fridge is in there pretty tight and there's really not much space. So we couldn't really...
Okay.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Take care.
So here we are on the patio. You know, I know you probably saw this, and I did for sure. You know, they've repaired this. They've tried to, you know, put adhesive or some type of caulking or something in there, because obviously this has had some water problems at some point. You know, he was up there. He said it's not much of a pitch to it. That could be part of the problem. But it's just something to keep an eye on. You know, you could probably seal it up a little better. That's all you really. It used to be a different part of the patio. You can tell from, you know, where it's squared off there. But that's really the biggest problem that he found with the house. A lot of nitpicky stuff I could kind of talk about. You know, some wood rot there. You know, there's an exposed wire here. I can't remember what he called it, but you know, that's not necessarily supposed to be the way that it is. It's supposed to run through the stone. There's a couple hose bibs. This one doesn't have a handle on it. There's another one out front that's not working. Minor stuff. All the irrigation's working. He probably hasn't run it for a while, but he says, you know, the zones are working. There's some broken heads here and there. As far as the decking goes, there was one spot, you know, it's got a little rot to it. Right here, that piece right there flexes a little bit, and this piece right here is cracked. Excuse me, that's probably the worst part of it. Excuse me, golly, gee willikers. Good news is, he says the roof's in really good shape. He says for the age of it, it's amazing how good the granule is on it. You know, you can kind of see in the gutters usually how much granule is run off. He says it looks really good. He says he gives it another 5 years. He went up in the attic. Didn't see any spots with the plywood or anything. That's the attic access. Here we are in the laundry room. I went up there myself, peeked my head up. It's tight up there. Good insulation. There's a lot of insulation, but it's crawl space, man. It's not really holding a whole lot as far as storage goes. You get some stuff up there, but it's tight, man. But he crawled around up there. I mean, he was up there for a while, and he did a yeoman's job crawling around up there. This seam that you mentioned is just probably, you know, a tape seam coming undone. He went right to that spot in the attic. Didn't see any problems with the plywood or anything like that. So he says the roof's in great shape, you know, given the age of it. A couple stoppers. This one's missing a stopper. Another one in the guest bath is missing a stopper. The toilet, that's kind of need to be loose, needs to be recaulked to the in the master bath, needs to be recaulked to the ground. That's a little bit loose. And here, you know, there's some stainage here, missing that stopper, and then this thing's pretty loose to the wall right here. So a couple things just need to be resealed. Anything else? The AC and hot water heater are both 07. The AC's is a little bit of a concern. He thinks it's just a service call. It's not running at full efficiency given the age of it. So we need to get an AC person out here. If you want to do that ahead of time, that's up to you to get a check on it. I would recommend it. AC service calls, you know, $100 or whatever it is, just to get a full report on it, because he says it's not the differentials of what it's set at when it's coming out at is not typically. It should be about 18 to 20 degrees. It's coming out about 12, 14 degrees. But it's not old enough to where it needs to be replaced, or there should be big concerns with that. So you may want to get an AC guy out here in the next couple days if possible. That should be about it. There's a couple, you know, other little cosmetic or you know, safety things with electrical where grounds aren't done properly, or, you know, exposed wire here, but it's, you know, it's all pretty minor stuff, and I'm sure you can handle some of it. So that's it. He'll get the report to you in a couple days.